24 Gulf Street, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation.
Yeah.
Right. Really, it's not permissible for you to
Well,
apply.
I don't know what these are.
You either object or you don't,
Well,
but it's not time for you to cross-examine.
I don't object to that. I mean,
Yes, there are.
okay, no, that's fine.
All right, no objection. We'll make this the fourth exhibit of the licensee. Says page 1 and 2 of 2, invoice date December 8th, 2011, for alcohol purchase from Reliable Churchill. See, fourth exhibit is received. All right, anything else, Mr. Shaw, as far as documentary evidence?
No.
All right, okay. Witness is now with you, and we'll turn these exhibits over to you at this
Sorry for the big confusion. I didn't mean to do all that.
Excuse.
Yes.
One more set of documents, licensees for, to be included with the rest of the utility bills.
Maybe I can clarify
Yes,
one
sir.
thing with the question. Now, the documents that you just given me, they are for, there's, how many meters are in the place?
I think there's 3 or 4 water meters. There's at least 4.
Is there one for the bar separate?
Some of it overlapped. In other words,
Is there one
if
meter
there,
for the bar separate?
yes, the lounge is separate.
Is there one
yes.
meter for the gas and electric separate?
The lounge is exactly separate. The bar.
Is the telephone for the bar?
Let me answer.
That's totally separate. It's totally separate.
All right, witness is with you, Ms. Hughes, right now.
Okay, so, you were cut off. I just wanted to confirm what it was then. What is it you said as far as the Baltimore Gas and Electric?
Yes.
Is it your testimony that the bills that have been submitted by your attorney are representing the gas and electric usage at the bar only? And not including any?
No, I was getting ready to try to explain that, okay? The bar itself has an apartment over top of it, okay? And it's on 1 meter, okay? So it's shared. It's shared.
It is
There
shared.
are certain meters that are shared, okay?
Right, and this particular meter is shared between apartment 1 and the bar.
Probably, yes, yes.
So my question is, how is this to show that the bar was open as opposed to the tenants upstairs? How do you differentiate the charges incurred here?
See?
I think she made it clear, but,
You were over there messing around.
so, no,
Yeah.
she's just saying, how do you differentiate?
That's
between
all I
the-
do, mess around.
Please. The question is, how do you differentiate between your tenant's gas and electric use and the bar's gas and electric use?
You can't differentiate, okay? What I want to just tell the board and this lady, okay?
Well, this lady is an attorney. okay?
The attorney, okay? I'm sorry. Is I was asked to put together utility bills, okay, for our establishment, okay, phone, whatever the case might be. All right, I didn't pull them all together. We would have had, 50 months of documents. I tried to pull some random bills or what have you, okay? What I thought I was trying to show was that we were, in fact, paying utility bills, phone bills, okay, and water bills, and that's what that shows, okay? If you want to argue about how much percentage is the bar or the apartment, we can do that. If she looks at those numbers, she'll find they're for thousands of dollars.
Well, she's allowed to ask
I
that
understand.
question,
I
and
understand.
You may
I understand.
proceed. Next question, Ms.
If
Hughes.
it's been submitted as evidence to show that the bar has been open, it's only right that the evidence is at least
Right,
clear
That's not a
to
question.
show.
That is not a question, Ms. Hughes.
Yeah.
Next question,
Well,
please.
so I object to these BG&E bills being definitive of evidence showing that the bar was open, because they include tenants who were there, who knows how
Objection,
often.
she says.
And also, are these just for 2012?
Your objection is overruled for the third time, Ms. Hughes, with respect to the BG&E bills. You've already made your point about the fact that the bill is commingled.
Yes.
And without the document, we wouldn't even be able to consider that evidence, would we? So your objection is overruled. The document is in. It's in. Flawed as it is, it's still in.
Fine.
Okay? Thank you. All right, next question.
The-
Ms. Hughes,
So,
question for the license.
Yes. So, as far as the Verizon bills,
That's solely for the bar.
okay.
We have two numbers, 1154. Anyway, there's two numbers.
All right,
The addressee on these bills says apartment 1.
that's a good
We
question.
have, well, it is a reasonable question. We had, my partner got the phone originally when we bought the business, okay, because he was going to stay up at the second floor in the office for a while. Got the phone, okay, called it apartment 1, bar, it's downstairs, it's a different number. 1190 and 1191, I believe it is.
Next question.
So where are the bills for 2011?
Objection.
I didn't bring them all, I just got
Basis.
finished telling you that.
Overruled. It's overruled. I mean, you're going to say relevance? She has the right on cross-examination asking just about anything regarding these bills.
I'm just trying to determine whether or not this completes all of your phone invoices to show that you're open, not just because you hand in some for, a portion of 2012, doesn't have anything to do with whether whether this license was used.
Sustained, that's not a question.
Okay, fine.
Next question. Thank you.
Okay, water bill. Same question. Is this definitively identifying the bar only, or does this also identify the apartments? Does it include?
One of those bills is the bar only, the other two have some shared.
And I think the board would like for you to clarify that. Are there two different account numbers on these bills?
I'm sure there are.
All right, could you then direct the board and council as to which one of these accounts is for the bar only and which one of these accounts is a shared account?
The account number ending in 39005 would be for the bar. It looks like there's two, and the other one would be shared.
All right, thank you. So the account ending in 3005 is the bar water bill. That's bar only water bill. Okay.
There's a minimum of $70 each month. So you say this one. Oh, okay. 05 is the bar. I can't see what it says.
Mr. Martin, do you have bills that show that further back, or is what you have limited to these few that you have submitted?
What is the question?
Yeah, would you rephrase it?
Do you have any additional bills other than?
I can give you the last 3 years if you'd like.
Yes.
No, but they're not here today.
I don't have them here today.
No, you won't be
Wouldn't they-
getting them during this hearing.
Wouldn't they aid in your decision of whether the bar's been
I only
open?
know what they, this is something you can make an argument on closing. But next question.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Hughes, any other questions for this witness?
Yes, I do have other questions for this witness. Okay, oh, we still have the wholesaler
Oh,
inventory. So this inventory that you submitted is dated 12/8/11, and is this the average amount that you purchased from, for your business?
Objection. That is offered as a document.
it's overruled. She's just asked, is that the average amount you purchase? And she didn't, we'll give her a chance to say, to finish the sentence. Is that the average amount you purchase?
Is that the amount you purchase on, can I rephrase that? How often do you make purchases for liquor?
When we opened, we were not going to order an inventory beer because of the expiration date. Okay, we had a lot of inventory already, and that is liquor that we bought in addition to what we already had. The significance here is that we only opened for a few hours several times, okay? So we didn't need a lot of inventory. As a matter of fact, if it's okay for me to talk to it, okay, I'll explain to you why. Okay.
Next question.
Do you have any other wholesalers that you purchase from? Is this the only one?
That's the only one I purchased from during this period.
Okay. Did you say earlier that when you had your friends over for those one or two times, that the alcohol that you purchased, this list was for your friends for those occasions?
I don't know exactly what they drank. We were low on that particular product, and I ordered that particular product. But we had a lot of inventory, and still have some.
Let's see here. Let's see. And do you have sales receipts that correspond with these that show that indeed this alcohol was sold?
I don't have sales receipts that'll correspond to that inventory, certainly not, okay? I paid,
Why certainly not? It's dated 2011.
well, you're trying to imply that because I had that in inventory, that's exactly what the people drank when they came in?
Do you have any invoices for the period January 2010, when you were closed, to now? Any of them?
Invoices?
Invoices that show that the liquor you purchased, that you actually were open and sold your alcohol to patrons?
Register receipts
Sounds like
of
she's
any
asking
kind.
for register receipts, okay?
Receipts, actually.
I have register receipts for 2012. I didn't have any for 2011. When we had folks in, we sold about $30 or $40 worth of product. It didn't appear that it was, but in 2012, we did $300 or $400 on two different occasions. I paid sales tax on those 2 months, September and October.
Did you provide that to the board?
I have it here.
And what was that period that you said?
The registered receipts in 2012.
Okay.
There was the
September and
testimony
October.
was $300 to $400, and none for 2011.
And what were your hours that you were open for, that,
We opened primarily on a Sunday, okay? We were open on a Saturday or two, okay, for only a few hours, had friends up, would typically watch the football game.
so is it your testimony that you've been open how many times since you were ordered to sell the license
3 or 4 times in each year,
in each year?
2011 and 2012.
And those periods that you were open, were they open one night, one day?
Hours.
Oh, an hours, okay. Let's see here. So, where are, you have, I mean, it's required by the rules that sales
Objection.
receipts are provided in order for these licenses to be renewed. And if there are none,
Next question, Ms. Hughes.
okay.
Right.
So, 1 second, please. So, can you describe the circumstances under which you were authorized to open at any point in 2011?
Objection.
Overruled. This is cross-examination, sir. You can ask it.
The question is whether or not I was authorized to open.
Yes.
I have a liquor license for 2011 and 2012.
And did you provide the documents for acquiring that? Did you receive them from renewal, during a renewal period?
Certainly.
And at that time, were you advised that you were not allowed to be operating?
That's what I wanted to try to talk to.
It's
Okay.
important to know. Because the only thing, the
I
bar,
have to object to the question. What period of time are we talking about?
Yeah, please rephrase the question.
we're talking about the period of time from 2011, 2012, 2013, and all the way back from when the license was suspended upon being ordered to be sold. All the way back, because there's not, how, were you given authority to open back up?
I have to
When,
object to the question. It's already been answered.
no, just
He had
because he has a
liquor
license.
Yeah,
He had a
this
liquor-
question is different. So were you given permission to open back up?
I guess I'll have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
No.
I came down to liquor board, and I got the license, and was told I could open.
All right,
And,
next question. And he has to answer.
yeah, so who advised you that you were permitted to reopen?
My lawyer.
And who, I mean,
Could you rephrase the question? I'm sorry, I was just, we're trying to schedule a bathroom break in here, so
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm just trying to find out, I don't care who answers it, what authorization was received from the board or from the board that said, okay, you're okay, you can open back up? When this board ordered in 2009 that it be sold by 2010. And evidently there were, Mr. Martin advised the board that he was having trouble finding a buyer. The board gave him more time. And then there was another hearing for the revocation hearing, and subsequent to that, you were ordered to, you were going to get rid of the license. And I have a letter here from Jane Schroeder that says the board ordered that you be closed. And until August, I'm sorry, and my question is, at what point were you authorized to reopen?
Right, I'm going to sustain that objection. It's not going to answer that question. It's
course not.
compound.
Okay.
It requires the advice of counsel based on that. Additionally, there's generally not any formal request required to reopen at the suspension or at the conclusion of a suspension. We don't send out a letter saying you're free to open again. Once the time runs, then you reopen. So you can argue this in closing. He's not going to be addressing that question. What's your next question?
Did you sell the license as required by this board in 2009?
Objection.
He can answer. It's over.
What's the question?
Did you sell your license as required by the board
No.
in 2009? We're still here, right?
So did you comply with the board's order that you do that? In
I-
order to renew it, you were ordered to
I had about 7.
sell it.
There's a broker here, about 7 or 8 contracts on that property.
Is the answer yes or no?
It wasn't sold. It wasn't sold.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Next
The
question.
board, it was not sold. So you were not in compliance with what this board ordered you to do.
Objection.
All right, sustained. We are talking about the viability of this license and not whether they're in some kind of constructive contempt for something that they should have done
Oh.
3.5 years ago. So let's move on, Ms. Hughes. You've spent quite a substantial amount of time with
Well-
this licensee.
That's what we're here for. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
No, we're here to have a public hearing, but you continue to come back to the same line of questioning.
Well,
How many further questions
this-
do you have for the licensee, Ms. Hughes?
Am I limited?
I'm asking you.
I don't
how many
know. It
questions?
depends on his answers and what you sustain and what I have to.
What do you have in front of
Gee
you?
whiz.
How many questions do you have left? I don't think that's an unreasonable request.
I'm going along here. Did you ask the licensees council that?
No, the licensee's direct examination was brief.
Yeah. So do I have to be brief?
No,
Because
we're
I'm
asking you
being
for time
thorough.
management purposes. Somebody
Okay,
wants
well,
to
you
take a
know-
5-minute recess. We just want
Well,
to
that's
we're going to
fine.
change
That's
witnesses.
fine. That's okay. I mean, that's okay. So
So you still
I'm
haven't
going to
answered
say it
our
again. But what authority were you given to reopen? Other than you went and paid for a license?
Ms.
Did
Hughes,
you-
we've already
Okay.
sustained that objection. Next question, please.
Have you submitted the required documents, the workers' compensation certificates for 2012, 2011,
Objection.
2010?
It's not relevant. We're here. How long they've been closed. We have a license. For all intents and purposes, the license is valid.
That's not
says
for
so.
you to say.
Yeah, on that basis, we'll overrule the objection. So have you filed certificates for 2012? Was that the question, Ms. Hughes?
Yes, 2012.
What
And
certificate?
Did you
all,
file any required documentation with the
I've
liquor
got
board,
it.
I
I've
assume?
got a
In order
trader's
for it to be
license.
renewed.
One at a time, go ahead. Okay, do
I have
you
a
file-
trader's license. I've paid my property taxes. I'm not sure what else you're,
Did you file the workers' comp? That's the one she asked.
yeah, well, that's always followed, yes.
So you
Yeah,
did. All
yeah.
right, next
you know,
question.
I'm asking about all of them that are required for a license to be
Did you
renewed.
file all the documents required?
Yes,
All of them.
I've done everything.
And may I ask the same question for the year before? To
Yes.
show that you've been
Yes.
open and operating?
Yes.
You filed all of them for
Yes.
the renewal for 2011?
Yes, yes.
And, let's see. Let's see. Did you receive a letter from this board ordering that you're suspended until April 30th, 2011?
Objection.
Sustained.
I'd like to submit a letter from your board, from Ms. Schroeder, your licensing, your attorney, who says that you're,
Is it,
on 2010, July 22nd, 2010, at the hearing for the revocation license, this board ordered that the license be suspended until April
April
30th, 2011.
2011.
Right. So, did you pay for the renewals at the time after 2011? I mean, is the board not allowed?
I'm going to say it
is the
one more
board-
time. I'm going to say it one more time. This is very complex. He obviously doesn't want me to expand on it, okay? When the suspension ended, obviously, as you well know, our primary interest was to sell the business, the bar. I needed my license. I filed for renewal. I got my renewal, okay? And I did that again in 2012. I have licenses. I have copies of them here.
Did you ever
next
receive?
question.
Did you ever receive a letter at any point in 2011 from anyone employed with this agency, with the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City, that in any way permitted you to reopen.
Objection.
Sustained. Next question.
I guess that goes to whether or not there's a,
No, it's cross-examination. You're not to make statements of opinion or argument. You're to finish examining the witness, Ms. Hughes.
Yeah, I know.
We will have time for closing
Okay.
arguments.
So it's your testimony that you have been open some portions of each year since 2010?
That is correct.
Okay. You know what? I don't know. I don't have anything more. It's
Thank
not
you.
going to go anywhere.
Anything on redirect?
It's not going to go anywhere.
Thank you. Board's going to take a 5-minute recess. All right, we're back on the record. At this time, Mr. Shawless, do you have any other witnesses to call?
No, the licensee will rest.
All right. All right, then, we will hear from each side. In closing, we considered you the move-in. You have some questions?
Yeah, for Mr. Shawless. Well, from
Yeah. All right, closing at this time.
At this time, the community would again reiterate its position that this license is not valid. It is dead because it is not shown by the evidence submitted that this place has been open and operating, and the documents that have been submitted do not show that, do not refer to the fact that the receipts and the invoices should reflect a 3-month consecutive period, and they're not doing that. And
but in excess of $40,000 maintaining this place with gas and electric, telephone, everything like that, to keep it open and viable as an establishment, a liquor establishment, so that they could sell it and so that they could keep the license. We have complied with the law. We have complied with the dictates of the law, and now we have another contract. And those people are here today too. As a matter of fact, is the people said from the community association, they were approached by the people who are buying it. They're already making the contact with the community. They want it. The price in that period of time has gone down from $700,000 to $265,000 or $265,000. Now, they put a log in of police calls, and this doesn't have anything to do with it, and I objected to it, but it still came in. But there's about 30 calls on there after they were closed and not being operated. Well, what are we proving by that? Are we proving that they got calls when they did open? Well, that bolsters my case. Or are we saying that they still get calls even though the bar wasn't even there and it never should have been closed in the first place? Which is it? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. All we ask, let us get that little taste of money. Just that little bit of money that's still left in there. Because this isn't just the business being sold for that paltry sum. This is the building, the business, everything. And with that, I submit.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go off the record.
They didn't show any liquor sales in the back. They didn't show any sales tax receipts. They didn't show any liquor sales, and they didn't show any sales tax. And that's all right. They're not going to get any records. They'll probably won't suspend it. Huh?
I strenuously disagree, I'll tell you why. Because these cases are routinely brought by the board. It's just wasn't so much and like the first,
Just say you have no future. I mean, cash register receipts. She has to send to that. I don't do this thing. She has to say, what's all the
contract down to them to do our work for us.
See, these people.
I agree, it's possible.
No, I feel, see, I feel bad because I could have dragged them in, but the people close the street from either 7 or 8 p.m. and they dogs the place they lodge every day. Because I get a call about and I should have said, but that's okay. That still doesn't exist. Yeah, they, it's not supposed to be a community thing, but those people dog us to the point where I already know somebody's going in there, giving them estimates on cheaper energy.
Okay, then I've seen other cases like this in the past.
So I don't have to go by every day to see what I do, but Well, that's right, but I'm not being, I'm not trying to say that she's on the Oh, I went in there with the microphone, yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I said to him, if he'd have said to me in the morning, I would have given him that. Yeah, I know, but see, they called me and they said, oh, it was.
So you didn't know the fact that there's a thing for sale sign or anything. But I can see those pictures for you know, good job.
I don't think that's way before that. I'm not blaming you. It's never a game, there's less, there's always more.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get back to that. Might as well.
I'm sorry for this. I think
All right, we're going to go on the record in our decision phase. This is our decision phase for March 7th, 2013. Wilbert Conover Jr., John F. Kleinsmith Jr., and Thomas F. Martin, Crab Alley, Inc., trading as Ravens House, 3731 to 35 Hanover, South Hanover Street. It's a public hearing to determine the status of a license under 2B 10504D concerning a license that's been inactive for more than 180 days. This hearing was set by our agency. It was set by our agency due to a request from council for community association. That having been said, we do not expect the community associations to do the work of the board. That is that we routinely have public hearings on license statuses where they're set in by our own office. So this case was not set in by Ms. Hughes. It was not set in by the community, but it was the community's letter that prompted us to get together and have a hearing. All of that meaning that we don't believe, even though we treated Ms. Hughes as the movant and allowed her to go first, we don't believe that the moving party has the burden of proving this case. The board is going to hear all the evidence on both sides, and then we'll make the determination as to whether or not we believe by a preponderance of the evidence that the license was or was not inactive for more than 180 days. So that having been said, we considered all the evidence in this matter. We considered everything from phone bills to photos to liquor orders to water bills to electric and gas bills. We considered the testimony of Mr. Martin, right? You're Mr. Martin, yes? Yeah. And we will go through that testimony briefly, and we'll give you the basis for our decision. All right, we first heard from Mr. Leary. He's a community leader. He drives by relatively infrequently, maybe he said about once a month for years now. And he hasn't noticed any activity whatsoever with the bar in 2011 or 2012. Next, we heard from Ms. Pat Wills, who's a business owner in the neighborhood. She testified that she, for various reasons, will drive by sometimes 4 and 5 times a day down South Hanover Street and never noticed any indication in the last 1.5 to 2 years that there was any indication that the bar was open at any time that she drove by. I think she did admit that she wasn't normally down there on the weekends, but she testified to what the bar, what traffic was around the bar, when she knew that the bar was open in prior years, that there was just no activity, no people out front, nothing that would give you any indication that the bar was open at any time. We heard from the licensee, Mr. Martin, who indicated, in addition to submitting some documents, indicating that he paid taxes, that he had opened the bar said it two different ways, but I think it's consistent. He said originally he opened the bar once every 4 to 5 months. Later he said that the bar, I believe, was open 3 to 4 times a year, just for a few hours at a time. He indicated that maybe it was a Sunday or Saturday or two. Indicated that he had about $300 to $400 in sales in 2012 and no sales in 2011. He further, as I say, he indicated that he had paid all the bills, paid the licensing fees, and submitted those into evidence. So we then take a look at the evidence. All right. So if you open in good faith, on some kind of basis, there's no litmus test, there's no, you need to be open 30 hours a month, there's nothing to guide us like that. So we look at the evidence, and the evidence begins with the applicant's first, the community's first exhibit, the photos taken by Mr. Leary through the windows. Through the windows, these photos indicate a place with no stock on the walls whatsoever, mail piling up on a table, and then a look through the door of the bar shows, I believe it's the 5th photo, shows Mr. Leary's silhouette against the entrance to the bar, with trash strewn inside the bar and debris. It doesn't appear to be a place that's even open once in a while, according to that picture. Pictures can be deceiving, so there's a lot more evidence to go through. So the next piece of evidence, the second exhibit by the applicant, shows the calls for service from the Southern District of the Baltimore Police Department from January 21st of 2008 to February 4th, 2013. There were, in 2008, 51 service calls by the Baltimore Police. In 2009, there were 53 calls for service. 2010, there's about 40 calls for service. 2011, 11, 12, 13 calls for service. And in 2012, 6 calls for service to the general area, and then in 2013, 2 calls for service to date. It's obvious. I mean, if this proves anything, the police report, or the calls for service, it proves that the bar certainly wasn't open every day. It would almost tend to, it would certainly tend to make us believe that the bar had seriously curtailed its operating times and hours. All right, so that's not dispositive. That doesn't tell us enough. So we take a look at the water bills, which the licensee indicated he paid dutifully. We look at, for example, the most recent bill with a reading date of January 7th, 2013. So basically October of last year until January of 2013, 94 days. And let me make sure I have, because because you testified, Mr. Martin, that the water bill had 2 components. It was shared. Additionally, some of the BG&E bills were shared, were on the same meter, and that there was a water meter for the bar only. That 3005 number you indicated in testimony that an account ending in, I believe, 3005 was the bar's water bill. We don't have a 3005, but we have a 9005. And I think that's what it ends in 39005. So I must assume that's what, we assume that's what you're indicating. So if that's the case, yeah, he did testify, 39005. So we're looking at those records. And most people out here have a Baltimore metered water bill. I know the three of us do up here. And if we got a bill for 94 days of water service for $58.63, we would celebrate. We'd take the extra $150 and go out and have a good time. That's the lowest water bill I've ever seen in the city of Baltimore for 94 days. In fact, I thought their minimum charges were higher than that if you didn't use any water at all. So it's clear that the neighbors upstairs are using water, like the water use of a place that's in continuous operation. They're using $200 a month. We do see higher charges. Most of them are carryovers from other months, but for example, in the winter of 11 to 12, you had a $70. Well, I'm sorry, that's for the tenant. So let me back up. So you had a delinquent water bill carried over from 2011 in the amount of $2,782, but we're not sure what periods that corresponds to. So as of recently, as of what we have for 2012, you have a $58 bill and a $134 bill for 113 days. And then what appears to be using 4,000 gallons a day, you have a carryover bill from January 18, from April 3rd, 2012. The water bills indicate very minimal activity on the property. The phone bills also indicate very minimal activity on the property. Though it wasn't testified to, we don't see any long distance charges in here, simply the maintenance, the upkeep of the phone. We've got our BG&E accounts. These accounts are shared, as you indicated, with the tenants. It's difficult for us to determine what is yours and what is theirs. But it appears that the gas and electric has been on the whole time because it fluctuates with the summer and with the winter. So these don't help us one way or the other, gentlemen. They don't tell us that. They tell us that the place was properly heated or cooled, or whoever might have been in there at that time. So we've got to look and see if there's anything else that can guide us. Something that would guide us greatly would be 2012 sales receipts. Mr. Martin testified he had his friends in 3 to 4 times in a year. We're not going to accept any evidence at this time, just so you know. But 3 to 4 times a year, friends, claiming there's $300 to $400 in sales receipts. He may or may not have paid sales taxes to the state, but we have no register receipts or anything indicating that he did make $300 to $400 in sales. And what we do have that is most probative here is a single liquor order in 2011, not a liquor order in 2012, but 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17 bottles of booze purchased in 2011. $427 worth of liquor that's purchased 15 months ago. 0 purchases from wholesalers in the year of 2012. So we're not going to talk about what happened in 2010 or 2011. Since this license was reissued May 1st, 2012, we don't believe that, we don't have enough evidence here to determine that your clients, Mr. Shawless, were open at all in 2012. I mean, nothing that would tell us this is a bar that's at least making a good fifth attempt. And the board determines that your clients didn't even do a very good job of faking it without purchasing liquor in the year of 2012, without having sales receipts showing. We were open on May 14th and I sold $56 worth of drinks. We were open on April 15th and I sold $27 worth of drinks. We don't have any of that. The board does determine that this license wasn't active for more than 180 days and that it has expired as a matter of law under Article 2B 10504D. Certainly, your clients have a right to the review of our decision in the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. That would need to be filed within 30 days from today's date. Are there any questions?
No, there's no questions.
Thank you, sir. We're off the record.
Oh, good, because this is getting so ridiculous up here. I don't know why, I don't even know why I come down here, because it's getting to be absurd. When the community can come in and present nothing, and these people come in and present that they've been paying bills and everything, and it's just totally ignored. When the community can say anything, and whatever the licensee says is totally ignored and found to be, we don't believe it. I haven't been here in the last 5 years where this board has believed any licensee. This doesn't make sense. You're killing licenses. You're laying off people in your own agency because there's not enough licenses to support it. I don't understand what's going on here. I know the country's going to hell in a handbasket, but somebody's got to stop it. It's starting to really get ridiculous. But this is, what? How many bars down there have been killed? At least 3 of them. Murph's closed, Bolero closed. 5 or 6 of them have just closed because it can't make it. And the community association has closed the rest. And it doesn't make any sense what you're doing. It doesn't make any sense what the community's doing. And you misheard a couple of parts of the testimony, but that always happens. I'm not criticizing you. I'm criticizing the way business is done these days. This doesn't make any sense. If the communities are going to rule this board, why don't you just bring back prohibition? That's what they're trying to do, so bring it back. Doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, Mr. Shawless.
Don't thank me. You don't want to thank me. You want to yell at me.
Board ordered
And
this.
I don't care. Yell at me.
All right, we are off the record and we're adjourned. Where are you?